I own, I don't even know, 15, 20 houses.
Don't you remember?
Dave Ramsey's worth quite a lot of money, to the point where he doesn't even remember how many houses he owns. Is it 15? Is it 20? I don't know about you. I'd like to be at a stage where I've misplaced a couple of houses, lost count, and I don't even know if that's including some of the houses that he's sold recently, like this one.
And a bunch of commercial real estate as well.
Recent reports said Dave Ramsey has about $850 million worth of real estate, and his company, which employs over 1,000 people, brought in about $300 million in income last year. The other thing that Dave is really well known for is his faith in God. He's a very devout Christian man, and he often openly talks about his strong Christian faith. It's no secret. So someone asked him a question recently. At what point, Dave, does accumulating all of this wealth just become greed?
How is it considered ethical for people to own so many houses? I'm just wondering how, as a Christian, this isn't seen as greed.
And also ask the question, if someone's buying up so much property, surely that's what's contributing to the housing shortage. There's not enough houses to go around if just a few people are buying them up.
Don't you know that buying up all these homes is what's causing the housing shortage?
That's not what's causing the housing shortage. Investors buying up houses is not causing the housing shortage.
Because that is a thing going around, that these massive hedge funds or Blackstone, like all these, they're coming in and buying up.
But they don't have a soul.
See? So Dave said the companies that are doing it, well, they're causing the problem, not individual people like Dave having $850 million of real estate. It's the companies that are doing it. They don't have a soul.
Because an individual investor, right, for the average person out there who has maybe 2 or 3 rental homes, right?
They're not causing the problem. But Blackstone, yeah, those guys are buying up houses. So that's true.
Is that affecting the housing market at all? Because that is.
It probably is to some extent, but not as much as TikTok says it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you really don't want your economic lessons on TikTok. I'll just help you with that in general. But anyway.
You're on TikTok, though.
Oh, damn. This woman here is Rachel. This is Dave's daughter who's interviewing Dave.
I own, I don't even know, 15, 20 houses and a bunch of commercial real estate as well. How is that not greed? Because I don't own anything.
Hang on a minute. Can we rewind that? You're now saying you don't own anything, but you just said you do own them. So who does?
I'm a Christian, and that means God owns it, and I'm managing it for him.
Quick question, Dave. If you were managing my property and I gave you 20 properties to manage and you lost count of them, would you consider yourself to be a good property manager?
So I guess you're calling God greedy now.
Oh, yeah. See how he turned that around? Oh, then on my houses, I don't own them. I'm just managing them for God. So if you're saying that having so many properties is greedy, well, you take that up with God. These are God's properties. That becomes a him problem. So let me understand this. If he's just managing these properties, collecting the rent, is he giving the rent to God or is he pocketing it? I first saw this post on X or Twitter, and some of the commenters were saying things like this. Lol, managing it for God, but you still cash the checks? Okay, big guy. Yeah, true, Dave. Are you going around collecting the rent every week and wiring it up to God? Or are you keeping the money? Fair question. Hiding behind God is sick. He really said, I'm managing money for God?
Managing money for God. That's my job.
He really did. This one comes from a guy named Brent, and it's not me. There are other Brents. Dave, God owns all the beer in my fridge and all the liquor in my basement. So if you're saying that I own too much booze, then you're calling God an alcoholic. Using Jesus to justify greed? That's a new one to me. You're really out of touch, old man. I have a hard time applying this verse too. Jesus told him, if you want to be perfect, go and sell all your possessions and give the money to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me. Yeah, I think it actually does say it in the Bible. Matthew 19, verse 21. Jesus said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell everything that thou hast and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven. Come, follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Wonder if he knew how many houses he had. Then said Jesus unto the disciples, verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter the kingdom of heaven. Let's park that. But Dave goes on to say, just because you own a bunch of stuff doesn't necessarily make you a bad person or make you a sinner. You know, it's what's in here.
I was like, well, Dave, why do you need so many houses? Why don't you just give all that extra money away?
I'm managing money for God.
He's managing money for God.
That's my job.
That's his job. Praise the Lord. Someone's got to do it, right?
This is the same logic of, well, is it greedy to have more in your retirement than maybe you may not need, right? Like
listen, if you got three bathrooms, you have three more than most people in the world. Why are you not greedy? If you have 2 cars, you have 2 cars more than most people in the world. If you make $38,000 a year, you're in the top 1% of income earners in the world. How are you not greedy?
Yeah, quick thought there, Dave. $38,000 a year is significantly less than $300 million a year, and owning a 3 or 4 bedroom house is significantly less than owning $850 million worth of real estate, Dave. Wouldn't you think?
Because amounts don't create greed. Greed is a spirit. It is not an amount. And, if you want to be a communist, just be a communist. Don't try to blame Christianity for it, okay? If you want to be a socialist, just be a socialist. Don't try to blame Christianity for it. That's a form of heresy called Gnosticism that believes that the material is bad, and anyone that has the material, their soul is in jeopardy.
Would that be similar to saying if you want to own 15 or 20 properties plus commercial real estate and a business doing $300 million a year, should we not blame God for that as well, or is that different?
The Gnostics taught that in the 1st century. They were heretics. So if you want to do a little theological rabbit hole, we can do that.
I love the rabbit holes, Dave. No, that's good. I think that's it, though. Greed is not an amount. It's a spirit.
That's it.
That's it. Greed's not an amount. It's a spirit. Thanks for clarifying that, Dave. To Dave's credit, what he's saying here is you could be a good person or a bad person, regardless of how many properties you own. It's what's in here. Because you could be a greedy person but own very little, or you could have abundant wealth and be very generous.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, sir. There you go. There you go. There you go.
In other words, greed isn't measured by your bank balance. And I get that critics are going to jump in and say, well, $500 million is too much. $850 million worth of real estate is too much. But what is too much and what's too little? Where's the equilibrium? Who gets to decide that? 1 house is okay, 2 houses is too many? Or 2 is okay, but 3 is too many? Who decides? How much is too much money? $1 million? $5 million? $10 million? If Dave gave half of his money away tomorrow, there'll be people saying, yeah, he's still greedy. He's got more than enough. He should have sold all of it. He's still got more than he needs. Dave says not only all of his houses, all of his net worth, all of his income, everything, it's all God's. When he co-founded his company with his wife Sharon back in 1992, he had a bigger vision that he wanted to set his kids up. He said he's already moved 90% of his shareholding over to his kids. He even goes on to say, my wife Sharon, she doesn't get anything out of the company, but then says she'll be okay because she's got hundreds of millions of dollars worth of other stuff. So don't worry about it, Sharon. She'll be okay. So I wonder if Sharon's money's her own or is that God's as well? So do you think when Dave says, this is not my money, I don't own these properties, I don't own the company, I don't own the commercial real estate, it's all God's, I just manage it, do you think that that's just a convenient cover so that he can avoid the uncomfortable questions about his religion and greed? Are Dave's explanations about his wealth, are they reasonable? Or is he just using God to justify his wealth? Let me know what you think in the comments.